Hello everyone, welcome back to Ethaniel's Archives. I'm Ethan, and today, instead of doing more Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, because I've gotten bored of that, we are doing something different. Today I'm going to be reading the story of Ted the Caver. It was uploaded on Angel Fire back in early 2000s, and y'all probably heard of this before, maybe y'all haven't, but it's an internet spooky story. And it's just something I'd like to do. It's definitely easier to record than Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. I think it seems like it'd be easier to record. But as I was saying, this is something that I've contemplated doing. So yeah, I figured why not. But to begin, if y'all want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Don't know what's going on back there. Oh, my mom's cooking something. Anyways, and if y'all want to see anything else, please comment it down below. I have not, I want to hear y'all's, what y'all want. Even if it's just wanting to roast me. I don't care. Just want to hear y'all's opinions. Anyways, we're gonna get into it right now, and thank you guys so much for watching. To begin, this first part was uploaded on March 23rd of 2001, and I'm going to after each part, I'm going to stop and talk about it for a bit, talk about my what I'm thinking and stuff, and then we'll move into the next part. Now, this might be a longer video. But hopefully I won't have to edit too much, so I won't have the same problems as I did with my last Walking Dead Saints and Sinners stuff. I'm still embarrassed that I ended up having to take that dumb of measures. And as of this point, it's only gotten 4 views compared to my rightfully so. That was garbage. Anyways, my video of explaining what was happening got more views because I did terrible, but that's besides the point. But again, to begin, it was uploaded on March 23rd of 2001. Due to an overwhelming number of requests I have received to tell about my discoveries and bizarre experience in a cave not far from my home, I have created this webpage. I will outline the events that happened to me during the past few months, beginning with my journey into a familiar cave in December of 2000 and ending, well, it hasn't actually ended yet. I will use my caving journal as the text to tell about my recent experience. I will give them to you as I experience them in chronological order. I've included photographs that were taken during my many trips into the cave. I'll also create a few illustrations to help the reader get a better idea of what the things looked like in the cave. All of the photos were taken by me or one of the few people I went in the cave with. I want to point out a few things to tell about the events. Most of the pictures were taken with a Kodak disposable type camera. I took a better camera into the cave on 1 or 2 of the trips. Pictures on this site are all original photos and have not been messed with or enhanced, other than were noted. As a rule, I get my pictures put onto a disc at the time of developing, so I don't have to scan them later. This ensures the best digital quality. 2. I will not reveal the names of any of the people I'm involved in this experience. If you know me well enough, you probably know them already. 3. I will not reveal the location of the cave to anyone for any reason. So please, don't ask. I refuse to be held accountable for anyone's life but my own. I will refer to the cave as Mystery Cave. That is not its real name. If you think any of these events sound far-fetched, I agree. I would come to the same conclusion had I not experienced them. I'll try to finish the site as soon as possible. Check the date on the main page to see when I've made updates. To protect myself from people who might want to copy this site, I'll including the following. It does not actually put an E here, it's TH. I include the following. And I said it didn't put an E here. Like, yeah, that's a spelling error, but I'm not going to be too picky. All text on the site and following pages are my own words and copyrighted 2001 from Ted. The next thing. Am I still recording? Yes. Yes, I'm still recording. I'll divide the text into two colors for sake of clarity. The gray text is directly from my caving journal. The italicized blue text is my comment as it reflects on the experience. I will do my best to convey the thoughts and feelings that I had during the entire events. I will not use the actual names of other individuals involved. I don't think that this part's important to this story. Oh yeah, he just sans grammar check. Yeah, y'all don't want to hear all this stuff. But that doesn't matter. So Caving Journal. So this is the first part of the story. Caving Journal 12/30/2000. B and I decided to get into one more caving trip before the new year. So we set our sights on Mystery Cave. Not a spectacular cave, but since neither of us had been caving in a while, it would be nice to go into any cave. There was a bit of excitement to this trip. There was a small passage in the lower portion of the cave that I wanted to check out to see if it was possible to get past in. It had a small opening, but lots of air blowing out of it. Even though it was way too small to climb through, I had never even checked to see what was inside the passage. We got our gear loaded up and hit the road by 3 o'clock p.m. We got to the cave in great time, since B likes to drive fast. We anchored from the usual tree and began to rappel into the cave. I went down first and got my gear together while B came down. And in blue italicized text, he says, I will refer to B many times. We have been caving together for many months now. He was injured in a caving accident a few years ago and was told he would never walk again. Through hard work and perseverance, he not only walks, but can get around very well in caves. The trickier parts of the cave might slow him down a bit, but he can make it. He patiently works through an obstacle until he gets past it. As for the reference to the small opening in the cave, there's a saying among cavers, if it blows, it goes. That meaning, if a passage has a good flow of air, it's probably worth investigating. Yeah, that's what they meant. What were you people thinking of? You guys were being dirty-minded. Okay, before I continue, I gotta make a disclaimer. I did find out about this from Creepcast, so if I make a lot of the same jokes that Creepcast makes, don't strike me down. Just don't. I respect those guys way too much. Please don't tell them that. Please don't. Besides the point, but yeah. If I make a lot of the same jokes that Creepcast made, just go with it. Yeah, I'm just going to continue. After we explored all the usual passages, we climbed down to check out the hole. The hole is located deep in the cave, near the lowest part of the cave. It is on the side of the cave wall, about 3 feet from the floor. To look inside the hole, I had to kneel down and duck under an overhang of rock. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so it's a picture of a guy with a glove hand. I might link these pictures down underneath. And y'all can check them out later, or if you can link the actual site so y'all can read the story yourself and really see the pictures. How am I going with the recording? Still going good. I used my backup mini mag light and held it inside the hole to see what I could see. I was excited by what I saw. The wall around the hole was about the wall around the hole was about 3 to 5 inches thick. It led up to a tight passage. The passage opened up a bit and just inside the hole. It continued back about 10 to 12 feet in a small crawl space. After that, it seemed to really open up. Although how much we couldn't tell. This could be a virgin passage. Obviously, no one has passed through this route, but there could be a way into the passage from the other side. To even get to the crawl space, we would have to enlarge the opening. Currently, it was about the size of my fist. Once we get past the opening, we would have a tight crawl all back to where it opened up. It would take some work, but we thought we could do it. We sat down for a few minutes to rest and contemplated our plan of attack. While we sat there in the darkness, we would hear the wind howling from the other side. I lost my place. From the other side of the passage. It was a low, eerie noise. We could also hear a low rumble from time to time. No big deal, though. The cave is in the vicinity of a highway that has heavy trucks drive on it. We figured the rumble was the effect of the trucks resonating through the rocks. We determined that our best plan would be to haul a cordless drill into the cave and drill into the rock. And then we would take a bullpen and a small sledgehammer and break up the rock. It seemed pretty straightforward. We would widen the hole big enough to squeeze in and see what was on the other side. The efforts to haul all the equipment down to the hole would be a pain, but we hoped it would be worth it. I named the passage Floyd's Tomb after Floyd Collins. It seems to look like the tight spot where Floyd spent his last miserable days on Earth. Okay, so before I begin, I'd like to clarify something. Floyd Collins, if you look it up on the internet, he was a caver who got stuck into a small passage and nobody was able to get him, and he eventually died. Long story short, I don't know the full details. I'm actually going to look at this picture it shows. Okay, when I first heard them talk about this thing, talk about the story, I thought it was in the ceiling, but it actually turns out to seem like it's in the wall, the entrance. That's interesting.
Ethan, what's your YouTube channel name?
Ethanol's Archives.
Ethanol's?
It's Ethaniel's, but it's spelled Ethanol's. ETHANEL''S Archives. But yeah, look. So that's that. Floyd Collins. He says here that Floyd Collins was a caver back in the early 1900s. He got stuck in a tight crawl space and was unable to free himself. It is an amazing story that is detailed in a book called Trapped: The Story of Floyd Collins. I think that's the title. I don't recall the author. Calling our passage Floyd's Tomb was not only a tribute to Floyd, but a commentary of the size of the passage. Ha ha, ha ha. In retrospect, it is funny how simple I thought it was going to be. I figured a few hours of work and we'd be in. Had I known how long it was going to take, I doubt I would have even begun the project. Had I known what I was going to experience in the cave, I'd have never returned. We gathered up our gear and headed for the surface. Normally I wouldn't care less if if I ever came back into this cave. There's nothing special about it. But now I'm psyched up about getting back and getting through. We hadn't even left the cave and we were planning our return trip. The rest of the journal entry talked about the climbing out of the cave, the dinner, and our trip back home. Okay, so that's the first part. It's really sets up the tone of like these first few parts. And I'm not as great of a storyteller as like the Creepcast people. Again, shout out to Creepcast. So I might not be near as good as this, but I figured I'd like to try out like this, like reading a story. I like to make stories. I'm not a good, like, I can read in my head, but I'm terrible when it comes to reading out loud because I lose my spot. And I also kept getting distracted. I might actually end this episode here and have it be a shorter video and maybe upload 2 or 3 of these, just so I... Sorry about that. I had to pause the recording a bit. We had some problems. I accidentally clicked the wrong thing to, like, you know, look at the thing. And I also... we had too much going on in that room. Changed backgrounds. You'll probably recognize this background from my top 10 favorite video games. If any of y'all watching this video have seen that. If you haven't, go check it out, please. I spent days editing that. So I'd at least like my hard work be shown, or at least appreciated. That's besides the point though. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, might end this episode here. I said I was gonna read it all in one chunk and just, you know, stop at certain chapters, but I figured if it would be easier if I, you know, record smaller segments and then then upload those, just so I also have more meat to work through. So I'm not like, you know, reading one story and like, you know, well, that's over, gotta find another one. It's like I can take this for like 4 or 5, 6 or 7 episodes. I can't remember how long it is. Again, I listened to it all in one sitting on Creepcast. Shout out to Creepcast again. Sorry. But anyways, but if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the little bell icon just so you can be alerted whenever I upload more. Comment down below if you have any more suggestions, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching. See ya.